Good evening, our first visitor. Welcome to our daily live stock market insights. And today is December 11th, 2019. And if it's your first time, the thing that we do here is we evaluate and try to assess the movements of our favorite stocks in the Philippine market. So let's wait for some of the joiners. And of course, let me just go back to our Facebook page because our special friends from our Invest in the Stock Market page are also waiting. And good evening. Just posting our live here. If you have any requests, please don't hesitate to drop a comment, say hi, and then we are going to review your stocks. Okay? We're just setting up our tools. Okay, over here, let's load our chart. We're using Bollinger Band and RSI for our main indicators. So let's first check out PSCI. What happened to the index today? Okay, so somehow it managed to bounce. Okay, so this is slightly higher than the previous candlestick, so that's a sign of bullish movement. Now, the only thing that we need to also be very particular with is this blue line over here. That's your MA20 line. So that means this has to break the MA20 line before we can say it is going to bounce. Something like this. It crosses the MA20 line, and after that it revisited that MA20 line because it will create a support in that area, and then it went up. Something like that. That's what we are hoping to see in the coming days, where it breaks this line over here. And I would have to say, I think there's a big chance because our MA20 line here, while we're establishing a flat line or a support in that area, your momentum is starting to pick up. So that is our main index right now. So hopefully that gets sustained. Okay, I'm just inviting some of our folks there in our Facebook page. So let's continue. What are your requests? But you know what? I'm now documenting the stocks that we are reviewing because I had this in our thumbnail. Okay, so number one, JFC. As everyone's really monitoring this. I got a notification today that our dividend has already been credited to our account because we have a position for this stock, and it was released on the 10th of December. So good job to those people who are also invested in JFC for your dividend. Okay, so this is a good day for it's a good day for JFC because now looks like we have sustained the new support that we currently have for this stock at the 201.87 level. So earlier it even revisited that line, and for those people who have entered in this level, good job. Looks like we will continue to move up. If it declines, it will just revalidate your support before it goes up. Okay, overall we are at a very cheap level for JFC. So if this time around I'm addressing this statement too, the investors. If you're an investor, this is a perfect time to accumulate volume. Okay, so that is JFC. Hi, Ronald. Nice to updated insight from PSE MBT. Okay, got it. You are our first customer. We'll talk about MBT, Meg. Oh, let me write it down. MBT, Meg, ACEPH, Costco, ISM, DMCI. DMCI is DMC, right? Lynette, PIP? Yes, of course. Right, so for those people who have not subscribed to our channel yet, um, my only request is, guys, please to subscribe so that we are always inspired to do this every day. So that gives me the, the energy to sustain this hobby. Okay, so all right, your MBT, I would have to say, if you are already gaining at the moment, I suggest you start taking profit, even if partially. Because let's say you are an investor, you can partially take profit, and then when it dips, you buy some more. Okay, and why? Because I feel that this will retrace if that is not sustained. Okay, sometimes though you also have a breakout play, but my sentiment for this stock is, with your RSI slowly declining and your momentum is starting to die down. Okay, so we're here at the 63.39 level. That's a resistance, so it's an area, guys. So you see this, it's slightly higher, so it's because it's an area. Now we are near a resistance, so look at this. While the price is moving downwards, while the price is reaching the ceiling or your resistance, your momentum is starting to die down. So if this does not break the 68.39, right, what we want to see here is like a little gap up above this level and then start to move up. If it revalidates the support, that's fine, but we want to see more sentiment moving above 68.39. Then we can say we have a breakout play for this. Otherwise, because this is a resistance, chances are, if we don't really have much volume, it will go back, and this is the next support that we are seeing. Okay, so those are the two probabilities that I have for you around MBT. Okay, hi Paulo. Let me add PNB for you, of course, and BPI for Desiree. Okay, next would be Meg. Guys, please invite your friends to also join us. So it's happier when you have people with you while you are studying, right? Okay, so we now have a bounce for Meg. Okay, good job to those people who have entered in this area. This is the support that we have here. So the next price that it will, of course, challenge is your resistance, which is your MA20 line. Okay, so this line over here, so that will be our resistance. Now, yep, I'm not saying that it will go back right away like this. If this line is not broken and then goes back, you can re-enter here. However, if there are some cases where you have something like this, where it breaks the MA20 line, you even had a gap up over here, and so the upward movement continued. Okay, so that's something we need to observe. However, if some people will take profit, let's say tomorrow, and revisits this line, the nearer you are to 4.17 level, the higher the chance of gaining more profit. Okay, so that is for Meg. So this is again the resistance. The MA20 line is the resistance that we are seeing for MEG. ACEPH. AC energy. Okay. AC energy, I don't feel comfortable with the stock. Okay, so we were right. It revisited this gap up that happened over here, and we are still outside of the Bollinger Band. So that means weakness is still present in the stock. Okay, so I'm thinking, let's see what happens around this area, 2.15 level. Okay, so there's a little dip here, but again, because it is an area, I can even put it at 2.14 or 2.15, around that level. Okay, so this is also your resistance over here, so let me just plot it there. So resistance used to be a resistance, became a support. Now it might visit that and before it goes up again. Okay, so your hint there is when the price reaches this level, observe how your RSI behaves over here. What we want to see is that your RSI should still be having this kind of direction, moving in an upward direction, while your price touched the same area. Okay, so those are your conditions. Costco. For Costco, okay, there's a dividend, but it's really small. This is still, for me, a sign of weakness. Let me just see. This used to be resistance. It's red, but we're slightly higher. So yeah, I think. And what about this one? Okay, so I would have to say still observe, guys, maybe around this level. If you want, you can just wait for another green candlestick. So a green candlestick can validate and confirm our support in the area. So we used to have, right, this used to be a resistance. You know that. You had some stabilization around here, and there was just an overshoot downwards, but it went up. So you can check out this area. Probably for me, I just need to be conservative. A green candlestick tomorrow, and enter as near as you can at the 6.80 to 6.83 area. I would have to say that's already a good entry price. Alright? But don't put all your funds right away in one transaction. So you probably just do a test buy. Okay, ISM. ISM, see, yesterday I said we're not safe with ISM. We're still outside the Bollinger Band, and when that thing happens, it's similar to this red candlestick, outside, outside, outside. So still outside. Therefore, I can say I am not confident yet in recommending this stock for you to enter. What we need to see is a green engulfing candlestick. A green candlestick that is slightly higher than this red and ended above this red and inside the Bollinger Band. That we can say, okay, we're safe. It's good to enter. But right now, I cannot, based on the last candlestick. Okay, see the difference? The next one is DMC. Oh, DMC, breakdown in price. So stay away. Almost the same look as what we had with ISM. DMC still bearish. Let's still wait for some more signs that this stock is now going to reverse. PIP. PIP, we need to see this price break your MA20 line. We need that for us to say that, okay, we now have a brand new wave, because this kind of candlestick is really unsure yet. Sometimes you see some weakness. You also had foreign selling that happened here. So maybe those foreign buyers entered here and are just taking profit in this area. So just to be safe, okay, this is the 1.30 is the support that I am seeing. So just in case the market gives us a chance from 130, in between 130 to 1.40, my recommendation is just between 130 to 134. That's the safest to enter at, okay? Um, that is if you have some weakness tomorrow, right? Trying to revisit this area before it goes up. But if a price gives us a gap up tomorrow and most of the action happens on the upside, then we can say now we have a reversal or a bounce indeed. Because right now this is still acting as your resistance, your MA20 line. We are currently using a Bollinger Band. So this line, and this line. So that is your Bollinger Band. I use the default, which is of course your MA20 being in the middle here. Some people make adjustments, but I don't. I just keep things simple. The next one is PNB. Oh, I'm so fast. I'm almost done with your initial request, guys. So please continue to just comment there whatever stock you'd like me to review. This is a bounce for PNB. This is your support, slightly higher, and then we ended much higher than the last price over here. So that's a good sign. We are now facing a bounce. Look, RSI normally gives an advance notice. While the price is moving downwards over here, your RSI is already giving you bullish signals. Let me just show you how it looks. See this? There you go. While your price was moving downwards, your RSI has already moved up. But guys, don't expect that when you see something like this overnight you will have the bounce, because let me see, was it ISM? This one, from this point to this point, you already had technically a bullish divergence in advanced signals that you are now going to face a bounce. But look what happened. Price is moving downwards here. Okay, so normally your RSI gives you advanced signal. So that means it's already going to give you bullish, but there are a few days left with price continuously going down. So again, it doesn't happen overnight, but when you see something like that, it could be days, it could be weeks. But at least you know that you're nearing it, right? You're nearing that area. Now, the next one is, I talked about PNB, right? Okay, PNB is a bounce. BPI. Okay, BPI, you're near your resistance. Okay, so this is the, actually use the MA20 line as your resistance area, meaning if you can take profit, partially take profit if you have entered somewhere here. If you have entered at the 85 level, then you can already partially take profit and then wait for it to pull back before you enter again. So just in case, guys, you see some signs of weakness tomorrow, chances are it will go back and then revisit the next support, which is around 87.02 or 87 to be exact, based on our indicators and candlesticks here. Okay. What about, okay, so I was able to answer all your requests, but let me, Lynette, I talked about PIP, right? PIP, your 1.30 level is our support. That's where we see price consolidating at. That, when the price hits that level, it's like a floor, it bounces back up. So that's what we're seeing. Okay, so I think we have enough time for the other stocks for some of our friends here who are not yet present but are just monitoring our um, reviews every day. So I'd like to review some more for them. Okay, ATN is still on a decline. Uh, Actually, it's still stabilizing in the area. So this is probably what you can do here. Create your oops, just create a Darvas box. Okay, notice for several weeks the movement of the stock is just within the range. So if you want, let's say this gives us weakness and revisits your lower line over here, that use that as your support and use this as your resistance. Right? However, if the price breaks this line, which is your resistance, let's say it starts over here, that means you now have a brand new wave for this stock. Right? MRC. MRC, this is an engulfing candle. This is a very good sign. People feel that this is already very cheap. It is really very cheap, guys. Price was moving downwards over here. So I really like our candlestick. That's a good 7.73%. Now your RSI also is giving us a bullish divergence. So, hence your green candlestick today. So this is already a bounce. So the nearer you are, let's say some people would take profit tomorrow. 0.18 around that is already a good entry price. 0.1881. That could be a good entry price. Overall, if you're an investor, anywhere within this range is still a good entry for this stock. SMPH. For SMPH, wow, you broke out of that resistance. So we've been plotting this, guys, ever since. I did not even move it because I said that that will act as your support. Now, looks like this is your new support. Your previous resistance is now your support, guys. So I feel that we might see some more bullish movements for the stock, especially because we've landed outside of the Bollinger Band, the upper band, that is. So maybe we'll have some more movements on the upside. Okay, the next one. So, oh, let's check out Bcor. Yesterday we saw signs of weakness for Bcor. Let's see how it ended today. Oh, it just rested. It just rested, guys. I think there is still, a slight increase in the coming days, but again, if you are not an expert yet in trading, I do not recommend, because this is a momentum play. You might be entering at a, looking at it right now, this alone gives me an idea that this is a FOMO level. This is already very high. Okay, I do not actually recommend for us to get in here, especially because majority of our listeners and viewers here are still new in the market. So wait for it. Just wait for it to retrace and create a brand new stabilization before you enter again. Okay, right? So it might even revisit your MA20 line for all we know. Okay, so the next would be, so that was B core. Do you have any other requests? Nicole, hi Miralu. Is this your first time today? Yeah, welcome to our channel. Hope you can subscribe to our channel, guys. Punch a CPM poll. Okay, what is CPM by the way? CPM? Okay, let's check out CPM. So this is oh, um, this is a rarely traded stock. So we didn't see this yesterday. There was a sudden spike over here. Actually, it started here. Normally, when it triggers your upper Bollinger Band, you'll have some more movements. Same is true when you trigger the lower Bollinger Band. So we had that, and right now, this is a solid sell-off. Whatever it gained yesterday, they also took profit 100%. So it just landed in the same area. So I would have to say, if you're not yet in the stock, I suggest do not enter. Okay, because this might go back to your MA20 level. Because this, um, I don't know, it's a lingo that they use in the Philippine market. It's like a jockey play. Like there's a group of people with a large sum of money, like in the six digits. They can influence the movement of the market. See that? 64 trades. And in that 64 trades, that will mean there's a buy and there's a sell. So most likely there are just 30 people who bought and sold stocks today. 32, around that. Okay? So it might go back to your MA20 line around here, 2.58 to 2.60. So if you have not entered in the stock yet, don't enter anymore. And if you feel that this stock has a big potential, wait for it at the 2.58 level. And let's see, once again, if it reaches that level, it should not break, otherwise it will go back around 2.52 level. See the difference? Oh, okay. Yay! Thanks, Miralu. How did you find us? May I know? Or did you join us through our Facebook page, Invest in the Stock Market, or Instagrams? Because we also posted something in Instagrams inviting everyone to join our live. I just want to see which platform is the most efficient one in marketing our YouTube page. Nathaniel? Sumaya. Okay. Yes, let's check out AP. Is this your first time too, Nathaniel? Yes. If it's your first time, it would be great if you can subscribe to our channel. Okay, so guys, looks like AP is trying to create a support. It went up a little bit, but it revisited the line. That's a classic movement of a stock. Okay, so now when you have something like this and it lands in the same area, the next thing you need to do, check your RSI. Do we now have a much higher? And we do. See that? So that means it might create a sideways first, just to strengthen your support in the 33.80 level before it goes up. So AP, if you believe in the fundamentals of AP, this is the perfect time you start accumulating volume. Do not buy everything right away, because what if the price breaks down? In any case, if it does, make sure before you even enter, have a mental condition that if it goes lower than your entry price, at what level are you willing to let go? That's something you need to conquer. Because remember, if you want to engage in the stock market, you need to have a very stable emotional maturity. don't be too emotional when the price goes like this one, dramatic, massive downfall here. Okay, because when it goes down, chances are it's a cycle. It will go up again. See that? Okay, so that's for you, Nathaniel Sumaya. Uh, okay po, French A. Thank you po. Uh, thank you also, guys, for joining here. Miralu from Instagram. Nice. Cool. All right. So it looks like Instagrams is really, really effective in driving people to our page or our YouTube channel. And yeah, I'm a user of the platform, so I think it's really good. Uh, Now let's talk about X. This is from Zian. X over here. I forgot to log our stocks. Okay, CPM X. Is it good to buy X at 0.85? Okay. That's really nice. Nathaniel, I'm your avid subscriber, Miss JD. Oh, thank you. So, question from Zian is 0.85 a good entry price? Oh, actually, even 0.86, 85, 86, since it is an area. You're very good in identifying the support. We are currently sitting at the support, right? So notice this. Let's check out your RSI. Your RSI, it looks healthy over here, moving in an upward direction. So yes, you can try it out. Although I would have to say, don't expect, okay, that this stock will right away move and give some bullish movements right away, because look, your trades, you only had 45 trades for today. So when you only have very little volume, or very small volume, you'll have very, very minimal movement, 1 to 2 cents a day. So that's it. Okay, but then again, while people are not seeing this as a very attractive position, but you already saw the gem in it, right? You see that you are already in the support level, and then slowly, when people are starting to trade this stock, then at least you're already in the stock, right? See the difference? So yes, 0.85 is a good entry price, and you can give it a try. Okay, Zian. Okay, what about now? This time I'd like us to sort this according to the highly traded ones. We have a different, okay, here it is. So guys, as a best practice, if it's your first time here, this is a regular daily rigor that I have, because what I do as part of my learning journey, I make my insights today, right, while the market is closed. Tomorrow you have movements while the market is open, and then when the market closes, I go back to the same video and I watch all the stocks and I compare the before against the result. Okay, so were my insights correct? And then from there, of course, I replicate it. See that? So that's how you learn, guys. You have to expose yourself to the concept every single day. That's how you form your skill. So let's now go back to MPI, highly traded stock for today. Still heavy decline, very, very bearish candlestick. So I don't feel good about entering this right now, because it might continue to go down. Okay. We talked about DMC. DMC as well is triggering the lower Bollinger Band here. So might continue to go down. ICT is, yeah, ICT has given us an engulfing candlestick. This is a nice jump from yesterday. You ended outside. Anyway, the next day you were able to recover. So I have to say this is the support that we have here. Oh, this is just an overshoot, the red one. But this is the support I really see. 117.95. So just in case tomorrow people will take profit, it will slightly dip. And if you're able to monitor the stock or yeah, the market, um, the nearer you are to 117.95, the better. Okay, because you are technically still 2% away from our mental support. Am I saying the right term? Mental support. Okay, anyway, just in case market gives you a chance, maybe around 0.91 or 1.08 higher than the support that we've created, I think is tolerable. Okay, but then again, remind yourself, what's your risk tolerance? Okay, Ali. Ali has already bounced. Looks like we're about to face um, a breakout play for this stock. It triggered your middle line over here, your MA20 line, so that means we might see some more bullish movements in the coming days. It will cross. Okay, hopefully it sustains and reach up to this mark level, but last time it did, but we were not able to sustain it. Okay, so the nearer you are to the 45 pesos level, the better. Actually, anywhere from here, like around 45.32, because you're already at the MA20 line. Later on, when it goes up, it will just stabilize at the MA20 line. So that's something you need to monitor. Okay. Right. Thank you in advance. Big thanks, Pop. Cian. You're welcome. Thank you guys for continuously dropping by. And okay, thank you for always supporting our channel. I really hope that we will be able to reach more Filipinos and we can be instruments of learning, because if many people, many locals, Filipinos are invested in the stock market, we don't really have to rely on the foreign investors for the market to move in the direction we want, right? So let's influence our friends and family members. So let's continue. BDO, did we talk about BDO? No. Okay. BDO, you can use our MA20 line, actually slightly lower than the MA20 line. This is the support we're seeing. Okay, there was a consolidation around here that created that support. So, and then we're moving downward. So from 155.86 to 154.89, that's a good area to give it a try. Okay, give it a try around 154.89. Anyway, this candlestick today is already a sign of weakness. This was the resistance. This was the resistance we plotted. I'm sure I remember it. This was the resistance we plotted last time. So it might continue to go down. Okay, but let us see. You have a dividend play and it will be released on the 27th of December. Okay, Romel, what's the effect of disclosure to PIP? Oh, check that out. I didn't really have the chance to look at the news. You know what, guys? I think I can even get a lot of information from all of you. You think it's a good idea to create a group? Just share your thoughts. Let's see if it's a good idea. Maybe we can also create a group for ourselves. And yeah, just want to hear your thoughts. Anyway, let's check out PIP. PIP is currently in the resistance area, right? And you wanted to find out about the disclosure. Korean shareholders makes 4 point tender offer of this. I have not studied this, so I will have to check and probably update you. How did you connect with us, Romel? Is it through Instagrams or through our Facebook page, Invest in the Stock Market? Please drop a comment so that I can update you either way. Anyway, um, I want to study it first because I don't want to give false information as we speak right now. I was not able to watch or read the news around this. Okay, but for those people who are currently connected with us, please share your thoughts. This is like a brainstorming, guys. Okay, I wanna read that. Let me just check really quickly. What happened? PIP? PIP. I'm reading. Okay. Canoes. Oh, they wanna acquire? Am I understanding it right? They wanna acquire the company. Oh, I'm reading the feed in Instagrams. They said, kaya pala marami nang namimitas 1 week ago. Interesting. What's the effect of disclosure to give? Through Facebook and saw your YouTube. 1.95 tender offer. Thanks, Miss J. Your voice so mellow. Love it. Because I'm Ilonggo. This is how we really speak. Just, chill. Yeah, this is how I speak. Either way. They will buy your shares at 1.95. 1.95. Okay. Provided you sign a tender offer agreement. Interesting. They buy at 1.95 because they feel that's the value of they feel that's the value of their stock, and they feel that there's a much bigger potential for this company, right? They know that overall probably their future projects will really allow them to grow much bigger, or in a it will give them a much bigger revenue, so they don't really mind paying a little higher because they know in the coming years the potential market value of this company could be times 3 times 5. I think that same thing happened to FB, if I got it right. Something similar happened to Facebook. No, not Facebook. San Miguel. Uh, They had something like that before. Tender offer. I know it was last year. So that's the reason why people or companies are willing to pay much higher, because they know for a fact that older projects could even bring their company at a much better state. And someday it will even cost much higher than that. But then again, um, just be very observant, because our market, the Philippine market, our volume is really, really small. Traders can take advantage of these things, and before it even, uh, did they mention a date? Before it reaches that date, they will entice more people, and then only to discover that at the resistance area, they will take profit and just bring the price down again, right? So just observe. They're buying on what they think the value of the company. Yes, Sun June, you're correct. Right? They will buy your shares at 1.95. It's the same as EDC. Was I right when I said FB? But I know there was a company before, so maybe your company, the company you mentioned, was the one. EDC. Yep. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for sharing. They're buying on what they think the value of the company. They're going for a potential delisting. Mm, that's true. Okay. So if you can buy it, let's say if the current stock is right now at the 1.30, if the market gives you a chance from where it is at right now to 1.30, I think that's still a good entry price, right? From where it is at, because I'm just looking at the technicals here. You can still gain from, let us say you entered around 1.36 up to 1.90. Wow, that's a good 38%. Right? Let's say you enter at this level. That's still 34%. You enter at the breakout of this stock, let's say above, a little higher than the MA20 line. You're still at a good position. Yeah, you can give it a try. Hmm. Okay, so let's continue to the next stock. Some of these stocks we've already reviewed, so I'm just going through it from top to bottom. We checked out ICT, did we? Yeah, we did. Ali, we also did. There was a bounce. This is the new support. BDO, you're at the resistance area. It might rest and go back to the 154.89. IRC, a little bounce, but this is a lower high. This candlestick is a bearish candlestick. Normally, when the stock is moving in a downward direction, it declines, bounces, slightly bounce, but the overall sentiment is still in a downward direction. Something like this, right? Yeah, lower high. When you say lower high, so let us say this is the level of the first high, right? Moved down, moved up a bit, but it's now much lower. Okay, it's much lower than the previous one. And also when it went down again and it breathed, bounced a little bit, this time around it's again much lower. So that's what you call a lower high. See that? Okay, so I'm thinking it might continue to go down some more. Okay, so be extra careful for URC. I don't see any signs yet that it will bounce. Your RSI is not giving us any hints yet. Except for this. Except for this. See that? This is what I was mentioning earlier. That price can go downwards and your RSI is already giving us bullish signals, but it's still, right? The movement is still very slow. So you can have several weeks of showing the same pattern. That's why you just cannot rely on one indicator. Some people have so many complex indicators that they mix and match. But for me, I only use RSI, the candlestick, and of course Bollinger Band. And what I have here also the volume. Those are just my tools. I combine my analysis based on these things. I also use, of course, the candlestick patterns. Let's try. See that? What about you guys? Are you also using the same indicators? I know there are a lot, like moving averages. They're very powerful, especially. So I've been watching YouTube ever since I started, and I know there are a lot of more popular, more established YouTubers. There's what you call AOTS, right? Alignment of the stars, wherein they combine the different MAs, moving average 9, 20, 50, 100, right? And these things, when they're all lined up, let's say 20 is higher than 50, 50 is higher than 100, 100 is higher than 200, then that means that we're now moving in an upward direction. And then when it goes lower than that, these lines can also serve as either your support or either your resistance. Same thing as what we have here. I mentioned last time that when it hits this MA20 line, that could act as a resistance when you're moving below it. But when you're moving above it, it can act as a support. See that? Okay, Sun Tzu, you're using MA custom RSI LBR. What's LBR oscillator? Interesting. Looks like Sanjun is a subject matter expert here. Maybe Sanjun, you should always join our live session. So I have someone, a subject matter expert, who can also share insights. Because mine is really, really simple. Sorry about that. Okay. Okay. How many MAs do you use? Okay. So let's continue. Just drop a comment, guys. I'll view it once in a while. So we're now in URC. AC. It went down. Triggered the lower band. So we're not safe yet. It might continue to go down. GFC, I talked about it. This is a good sign. We now have a brand new support. AEV is also giving us some bearish signals. It might continue to go down. Okay, but let's see first if your MA20 line gives us a brand new support in this area. Okay, so you had for several days here it landed on the same area, and then this is your MA20 line. So let us see if this now becomes your new support. All right, so that's the first area to watch out for. BPI, we talked about it. This is your resistance, this is your support. 89.93 being the resistance and 87.02. Oh, fruit might still continue to go down. Okay, that's 5.17%. It's really hard to make impressions here because even my Bollinger Band is not showing any lines yet because we're less than 20 days. Okay. Oh, just saw your video from Bugis. I'm working here too at Bukit Panjang. Me and my colleagues also trade in PSCI. Nice to know. Okay, so I'm here actually in Singapore. We have a company. Our company has a branch here, and I'm gonna be staying here in the next 5 weeks. So yeah, interesting. Um, I think there are really many Filipinos here. Sometimes you'd be surprised. Uh, all of a sudden you hear Filipinos talking at the back. Yep. I don't really know where the Bukit Panjang is. Two only. How long have you been in? How long have you been trading the stock market, Romel? Okay, so while we wait for your reply, let's check out MWC. Ooh, what happened? The issue with the water. I know Duterte has been picking on these companies. Uh-huh. Hold on. Sorry about that. My husband is actually watching me while I do live. So please excuse the noisy beep of my phone. Alright. So MWC, unless we're done with the bad, I don't know if I say bad, but because this company is in the spotlight right now in the eyes of the president, so that's why many people are scared with the future of the company, so that's why they're backing out. But look, your foreign buying is already at 3.19 million. Foreign investors already find this attractive, but again, I'd like to stay true to my conditions. When a stock price is still outside the Bollinger Band, don't trade yet. We do not see any support nearby, right? It's been very bearish for several months. So unless we see a support being formed, I cannot recommend it. It might go down some more. Okay. You can use lower time frame to have a better view for fruit. Oh yeah, that's right. Um, I want to echo that. Use your longer time frame to see the overall direction, but to really take advantage of the perfect entry price, right? You have to drill down further to a much faster time frame. Like this one, for example, I want to use, let's say JFC. No. Let's say Meg. What stock is, okay, for example, this one. You know that at a glance, you can say, oh, okay, Meg is already bouncing. Okay, but if you put that on a much faster time frame, because on a daily chart, you say, oh, 4.31 is already a cheap level. But if you, let's say, put it on a 15-minute chart, you know that there's a big chance that following the same indicator still, that what if this is not sustained and it goes lower than that, that means you can still haggle at a much cheaper price. See the difference? On a daily chart, you think that's already okay because it's already cheap. But on a 5-minute or 15-minute chart, it's a wait and see game because your MA20 line might break and then it might even drop to 4.20 level. Only then you can say, oh, there was, after all, an opportunity for me to get it at a much cheaper price because I managed to drill down further and look at it in a much faster time frame. Now, looking at this one, your first question in mind is, will it sustain or will it bounce? Now you drill down again further, faster time frame. With this one, you're now moving below the MA20 line, so there's a big chance that it might break, right? Because this is already very high. So maybe in the next, because every stick here or every candlestick here is a 5 minute worth candlestick. Will it decline because we're already moving below the MA20 level? Let us see. Yeah. So there's a big chance that it might really decline. So I therefore conclude that there's a big chance that it might revisit your 4.17 level or even a little higher than that. Okay, see how the thought process is from a much longer time frame. At a glance, you think it's already cheap, but when you drill it down further to a much faster time frame, you will discover that there is still an opportunity for you to get it at a much cheaper price. The scary thing about MWC is the probability of being web version 2. Same thing happened on web before. Never catch a falling knife. Yeah, that's true. Unless, that's why I would always say, unless we see some consolidation or stock moving sideways just to strengthen the support, don't enter yet. ISM or KPPI. This one, see that? From this level, massive breakdown in price. People thought that this level is already cheap, but it really went down. Little India and Chinatown is okay too for souvenirs. Go to Lucky Plaza at Orchard if you want Jollibee from Singapore. I'd skip that. You know why? In the Philippines, if I go out of our subdivision, it's like a few steps away, less than 70 meters from the gate of our subdivision is already Jollibee. To the left, you go to the right, it's McDo. So those things I want to skip. Um, I like so far. I don't know what I forgot what they call it. It's popular. Where you guys have here the toasted bread, and then there's a butter inside it, and then there's like a jam, and then there's an egg, poached egg, and I see that almost every corner here. I forgot what it's called, but it really tastes good. Something to do with toast. It has the word toast on it. What happened to web before? The president pins on pin from 24 to 3 in 40 days due to online gambling issue. When was this? From 24 to 3 in 40 days. Ay, web. From 24 peso to 3. If you feel full chart. From 24? Oh, there. My gosh, this is massive. Back in 2016. Right. Okay. So let's continue. Um, let's go back to my chart. So all stocks again. On a side note, guys, while I open the next stock, who among you here are also into options trading? For those who are not familiar with options trading, this is, uh, I don't want to use the word bet, but you put a position on a pair, because normally this is related to forex. So you try to analyze the chart and see, based on the time frame that you choose, right? That means there's an expiration time. You check whether the stock would go up or down. So let us say you choose a 1 minute time frame, and you know that a stock, based on your analysis, the stock will go up, and let's say you put $10 on it. Depending on the rate at that moment, your $10 could gain 89% or even 95%. So it's a little risky, but if you know how to manage your risk, um, it's also a nice way to trade. Movements are faster, and the potential, of course, in our industry here, the higher the risk, the higher the reward. So if the reward says 89%, of course the risk is also 89%. Call and buy. Yeah. So I am more active in two things, especially because I work in the morning and I only have uh, free time at night. I'm more active in options right now in the US market. Whatever positions I have in the Philippine market, I only um, use that for investment purposes. That's why I kept on mentioning, if you're always following my insights every day, I would mention that every time I look at JFC, you all know that I have a position in JFC, and I don't really mind if it dips because I know it will go up. And my mantra, my objective why I am in JFC is because I am an investor. Okay, so let me go back to what you mentioned here. Yes, Sanjun, a call for buy, put for sell. And I think in one of my videos, you will see me trading options. And because I'm very kuripot, I only am willing to risk $10. So I will be able to play that $10 in the next 2 days. Sometimes if I'm able to gain 30%, I already exit and withdraw my funds. The other day I played $20 worth and I gained around 15% and I rested. But the point there is, it's not just all virtual, right? Because when you're just trading virtually, it's not the real um, it's not the real deal, right? Remember, when you are in the stock market, you need to be able to control your emotions. But when you're trading virtually, something in you is not fully into this exercise because you know it's not real money. See the difference? Yeah. By the way, Romel said it's Toast Box. Yes, you are correct. There's a mall beside Raffles Hotel. That's where I ate the other day. Toast Box. Kaya Toast. Yeah, that's the one. You know how option premium works? That part I don't know how. How much? Try options trading. I would always trade just $1. $1 every time I trade. So that means it's not, you know, it's risky, but before you even engage in it, you know how much you're willing to lose. So I said that okay, I'm willing to lose 40 or $10, meaning in peso, I'm willing to lose 500 pesos in this trade, in this exercise before we even start, right? That's the beauty of it, because you know how much you're willing to lose, and that's the only thing that you're going to trade. Um, just to let you know, guys, I I don't really trade big sizes, or I don't know what they call it, but large. I don't use large amount of money.